we see a lot of willingness to pay that we have to deal with. So depending what the situation is, if you're running late to get home, you haven't bought anything, God forbid you've forgotten to get something, you may very be willing to pay more and actually give that vendor another chance next year because they helped you out when you needed them. On the other hand, we do have a lot of opportunity to switch to other things. So roses, when they start to be $125, and I was walking down the street today and heard someone say, well, they're not going to last more than a couple days, it starts to bring up the notion of buying adjacent goods. So might you want to buy some candy that's going to last a little longer? Might you want to buy a small gift that's going to last longer? So it's a
So would the candy last a couple of days? Be honest. Would it? A couple of hours, maybe.
Flowers would probably last longer than candy in my house. Yes. But I hear what you're saying, and so you might go for something. Even if you put a bracelet or something adjacent to the flowers, that could be longer term.
What's interesting too, 2 years ago, we do a lot of work in luxury, and 2 years ago I would have said, quite unromantically, and we're going to have a rational conversation about something that's quite romantic like love. I would have said it would have been a perfect year to give your loved one an appliance, maybe a small one, with a flower. And things have changed now. Expectations have changed in the past year or 6 months. And folks are expecting more. We're seeing this in a lot of our studies, and a more romantic edge to the gift. But we can't forget about the fact, one of the things that's going on is there is a demand, there's a supply side context, just there is a supply, a demand side. So we're seeing more than double the cost of the actual flowers. And it's pretty clear, even at some of these higher prices, local retailers afraid for what you're talking about, losing a customer, not even passing all those costs on.
So how much risk does, you mentioned, does the retailer have? I mean, if costs are up double what they were last year, they've got to make a bit of a gamble, haven't they, on how many red roses do I buy to have in inventory and for this one day, because they're going to, you know, tomorrow, if you don't sell them tomorrow, you're never going to get the price for them that you would later in the week. So how do they make that decision, and do they get hosed?
So they gamble a lot, unless they think about this a little more than just simply putting it as, do I have some, what do I sell them for? So there's a lot of ways you can promote things. For example, you could, when you have a price increase, you might give it with something that the customer is going to use 6 months from now, and is on an equally as important day for them, a birthday, for example, yet at that point the roses cost you a third as much as they do today. So there's promotional tactics they can use to help get over that.
You mean like a coupon to
a coupon
use in the
for future use, and the whole tray is the arbitrage between the cost them in the future versus the value for the customer. Customer gets as much value, if not more, on their birthday. That cost to them is lower. So there's one thing they can do. The other thing they can do is develop products at different price points. As you see this online, do I have a $20 option? Do I have a $100 option? I was just walking through the train station this morning, and I saw a $60 dozen on a little kiosk, $5 a piece. 2 weeks ago I was walking through there, they were $2 a piece. So the other part of this equation is, as we normally see, at the low end of a price point, you have more room to increase prices. When you start thinking about $200 or $300 a dozen of roses, it gets prohibitive.